My name is Daniel. I'm 32 years old, and until recently, my life was like that of millions of others, rushed, noisy, and full of distractions. I work with digital marketing. I spend most of my day in front of a screen, monitor, cell phone, tablet, producing content, analyzing numbers, tracking trends, and when I'm not working, I'm still online. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, WhatsApp, news, all at once. It was as if my brain never shut down. I've been married to Marina for 7 years. She's a nurse, a woman of faith, calm, one of those people whose voice alone brings you peace. We have a 4-year-old son, Matthias, who is our miracle. But, even with an incredible family, a blessed home, a stable life, I lived, absent, not physically. I was there, at the breakfast table, on the living room sofa, at birthdays, but my soul, my attention, was always somewhere else. On my phone, at work, on the next goal, on the next like. I grew up in the church. My parents are firm Christians, the kind who pray before everything, who have home worship. But I gradually cooled off. I stopped praying. Then I stopped reading the Bible. Then I stopped listening. God became a distant, almost theoretical concept, and social media became my daily devotion. I woke up with my phone. I slept with it. When I was sad, I scrolled. When I was happy, I posted. When I felt empty, I posted even more. And you know the worst part? I thought everything was fine. After all, I wasn't cheating on my wife. I wasn't harming anyone. I helped at home, paid my bills, was a good guy. But inside me, there was a tiredness, a silent anxiety, as if I was always trying to fill something that never got filled. And the more I scrolled the feed, the emptier I became. It was like an invisible addiction. I only realized how trapped I was when it was too late. It was a Friday, end of the workday. I was driving home, replying to a message on my phone. Yes, I know the danger. It was a matter of seconds, a curve, a truck, a flash, and then silence. My name is Daniel, and for 7 minutes, I was dead, clinically dead, no pulse, no breathing. And it was in that time that Jesus showed me everything I didn't want to see, especially the demons I myself had let in through the screen. That day seemed like any other. Traffic was heavy, the sky was cloudy, and I just wanted to get home, take a shower, and lie on the sofa. While waiting for the traffic light to open, I looked at my phone, work group notification, then a like on Instagram, then a message from a friend with a funny video. I was speeding up and laughing. I just didn't realize that, on the other side of the curve, a truck was coming at high speed, trying to brake in vain on a wet road. It was a dull sound, as if time had been swallowed by an invisible explosion. Everything stopped. The sound, the vision, the body. I didn't feel the pain. I didn't hear the impact. There was no scream, no despair, just darkness. The doctors later said my car spun twice and was thrown against the guardrail. The driver's side was completely destroyed. The airbag deployed, but I hit my head hard on the side window. My heart stopped. I stopped. It was exactly 7 minutes. 7 minutes without a pulse, without breathing, without life. The paramedics arrived quickly. One of them, named Roberto, said he found me with my eyes open, but without sparkle. It was one of the strangest moments of my career, he said later. You were there, but it seemed like you weren't anymore. While my wife received a desperate call from the hospital, while my son slept, unaware that his father had died for a few minutes, I was somewhere else. A place without noise, without a phone, without a feed, without emails. A place where nothing I thought was important made sense. I don't remember the rescue. I don't remember the sound of the siren, nor the sound of metal being cut. I don't remember the stretcher, the ambulance, the screams. I only remember the silence. A silence so profound it seemed to have weight. And after that silence, something began to change. I felt as if my body was floating, not like in a dream. It was real, terrifyingly real. I looked down and saw the twisted car. I saw the firefighters trying to revive me. I saw my own body, motionless. It was then that I realized I was no longer in the world I knew. I was no longer part of the rush, the bills, the emails, the screens. I had crossed a line, and the feeling was strangely light. But also, there was something there, something observing me, something I didn't yet understand, but that gave me a sense of urgency. It was as if an inner voice said, "You will now see everything you always ignored." And I was about to see. Floating above your own body should be terrifying, but at that moment everything seemed suspended in time. What shocked me wasn't death itself, it was the strange peace that came with it. I saw my body stretched out on the road, I saw the blood, the paramedics, the despair, but I felt light, free, as if all the burdens of life had been left behind with the broken seatbelt. But it wasn't heaven, it wasn't hell, it was like a spiritual waiting room. Everything was grey, not in color, but in meaning. It was as if time had stopped, so that a greater truth could approach. Soon I realized I wasn't alone. I began to see shapes, lights, presences. Some of these presences glowed softly, with a light like that of candles on a dark night. They were gentle, calm. Others, however, were like shadows that moved irregularly, densely, and they observed me. I didn't see their faces, but I felt the weight of their eyes. These presences didn't seem human, nor celestial, and it was then that the atmosphere around me changed, as if the space around me was opening, as if an invisible curtain was being pulled. The darkness didn't disappear, it receded, and there, in the center of everything, was him, Jesus. I didn't see him immediately, like in paintings. I felt him before I saw him. His presence was like a wave of heat that passed completely through me. It wasn't just peace, it was authority, truth, love, and power. And suddenly, I was no longer an observer, I was before him. He didn't speak as we speak. His words went directly into the spirit, without sound, without noise. But every phrase was like a gentle thunder within the soul. And he said, "Daniel, you died for 7 minutes, but it is enough time to show you what you did not see with your eyes." I couldn't answer, I couldn't justify myself, because, before him, everything was clear. My distractions, my pious lies, my excuses. I didn't see him with the eyes of the body, I saw him with the spirit, and he saw me completely. "You spent your life scrolling screens, but ignoring what dwelt behind them." At that instant, I felt I was about to see something that would change everything, and I saw. Being before him is impossible to describe with human words. There was no throne, no harps, no multitudes of angels, but there was something infinitely more powerful, truth, a truth that passed through me like light passes through glass, without resistance, without defense. Jesus did not judge me, but his simple presence already made me see everything that was inside me, my distractions, my invisible addictions, my spiritual coldness, my secret worship of the cell phone, of social media, of the ego. He didn't need to accuse me, his gaze showed me, and yet, he loved me. That was what disconcerted me the most. How could someone who knew me so deeply, every impure thought, every useless word, every hidden vice, still look at me with compassion? "Daniel," he said, and my name sounded like a song of eternity. "You did not die by chance. I allowed this to happen, so that you may see, so that you may return." Return. I didn't even know what that meant yet. Then he extended his hand, and it was not an ordinary hand. It was a hand full of marks, scars of love. When I touched that hand, even without a body, something in me opened up. It was as if thousands of windows swung open within my soul at the same time. And then, the visions began. Jesus took me to a dark place, but it was not a physical place. It was a dimension that connected with the visible world, only hidden. It was as if I was observing Earth, but with his eyes. I saw ordinary houses, ordinary people, young, adults, elderly, each with their face illuminated by a screen, and behind each screen, there was something more. Demons, yes, demons, but not like movies show them. No horns, no fire, no screams. They looked like whispering shadows, emotional ghosts that fed each person's feed with what they most desired, or feared. Some fed comparison, others, envy, others, sexual desire, others, political hatred, others, anxiety, others, the fear of missing out. I saw a teenager looking at her phone and feeling ugly because her face didn't look like the influencer's filter. And there, beside her, was one of these demons, whispering lies that seemed like thoughts. You'll never be loved. Just kill yourself already. I saw a married man watching short videos of women dancing, and every time he scrolled down, a chain attached to his heart. He didn't see it, but he was becoming a slave. I saw children being educated by algorithms, learning to mock, to expose themselves, to perform for invisible approval, and each like turned into a spark that fed the demons of vanity and disconnection. I saw empty churches and full cell phones. I saw families at the dinner table, each in a different world. And Jesus said to me, "The spiritual war has changed form, Daniel. The enemy no longer appears with screams, he appears with notifications. The new idolatry is not in statues, it is in screens, in the need to be seen, to be liked, to be accepted, to be distracted." His words were like lightning bolts of truth. I wanted to look away, but I couldn't. These demons don't enter through open doors, they enter through allowed distractions, and they feed on the time, attention, purity and intimacy that were once mine. I cried, but not with physical tears. It was as if my entire spirit trembled. I understood, and I felt ashamed. For every hour I spent scrolling instead of praying, for every thought I gave to a feed, and not to the word. But then Jesus placed his hand on my head. "I did not show you this to condemn you, my son. I showed you so that you may return, and so that you may warn." After Jesus showed me what was behind the screens, I thought I had seen everything. But no, that was just the beginning. "Now I will show you how they act." These were the words he said to me, and when he spoke it was as if the invisible layers of the digital world unfolded before me. I saw what looked like a giant network, not of wires but of dark chains intertwined. Every like, every click, every scroll, it was as if it formed a thread, a line, and these lines were fed by spiritual entities. They weren't traditionally scary. They didn't scream, they didn't roar, they whispered, and they whispered well. I saw demons specializing in distraction. They infiltrated minds with gentle suggestions. "You deserve to rest. Just 5 more minutes. Look at this video. Look at this reel. Look at this comment. You need to know what's happening." And the soul obeyed. I saw demons of comparison. They whispered, "See how much prettier she is than you. See how he has already achieved everything. You are late. You are ugly. You are failing." And the person's spiritual self-esteem collapsed, even if outwardly everything seemed normal. I saw demons of vanity. These were like stylists from hell. They molded digital personalities. They made people post not to share, but to compete. Not to connect, but to impress. And with each like, they fed like worms at an ego banquet. I saw demons of hatred. These were in the comments. They hid behind fake profiles but also real people. They whispered words of criticism, poison, mockery, and every virtual fight was a fire lit in the spiritual world. I saw demons of lust. These were the quietest and the most active. They guided fingers to certain videos, certain images, certain profiles, and when the person yielded, even for a second, a spiritual chain formed. It was invisible, but real. A prison built with momentary pleasure and maintained with silent guilt. I saw demons in live streams, in audios, in memes, in filters, in algorithms. And then Jesus told me something I will never forget. Networks were created to connect people, but the enemy has turned them into invisible chains. The internet is not the problem. Inattentive surrender is. Those words burned within me. He showed me churches where members were present at worship, but their minds were on their phones. Pastors who prepared sermons based on engagement and not on prayer. Children who knew more about influencers than about the GG Gospels. Marriages in crisis because of silent addictions fed by social media. Friendships destroyed by pointless debates. Families separated by ideologies promoted by algorithms. And then I saw something even more terrifying. A throne. In the center of a dark environment, there was a throne. But it was not made of gold. It was made of screens. Small screens. Of cell phones. Thousands of cell phones piled up, forming a black, vibrant throne. And sitting on it was a hooded figure, faceless, with eyes that blinked like notifications. With each touch of a person's cell phone, this throne gained strength. With each swipe of a finger, this entity grew. "Who is that?" I asked with a trembling spirit, and Jesus answered, "It is the spirit of distraction. It is the prince of lost time. He governs not with violence, but with indifference. Many of my children have not rejected me. They just got distracted." These words tore me apart inside, because it was true. I had not denied Jesus. I just put him in the background, and the background became the last. "Daniel, you did not die in vain. You will see what few see, and you will return to speak. Tell them, it's not about deleting networks. It's about not being dominated by them. It's about guarding your heart while you swipe your finger. It's about remembering who should occupy the throne." And at that instant, I felt something changing again. The environment began to tremble, not like an earthquake, but like an awakening. And I knew it was time to go back. When Jesus said I would return, my spirit trembled, not because I doubted him, but because I didn't want to go back. After everything I saw, after feeling that peace, that pure love, that absolute clarity, returning to the world seemed like a sentence. It seemed like returning to prison after knowing freedom. "Lord, leave me here. I don't want to go back." This was my silent prayer, but he looked into my eyes, or what existed in me as eyes, and said, "Daniel, it is not yet your time. You need to speak. You need to warn. I will be with you." And then, it was as if an invisible force pulled me, as if I was being sucked back by a thin thread of light that passed through the spiritual layers until it reached the pain. Yes, the pain. It was like abruptly falling into a cold, heavy, confused body. My ribs burned, my lungs burned. An explosion of sound and light invaded me. Screams, sirens, white lights, a brutal sensation of suffocation. I felt something being pulled from my throat, a tube, the taste of blood and metal. Then, hands pressing my chest, shocks. And then I heard, "He's back. We have a pulse." The voice was a woman's, a nurse, and soon after, another voice trembling. "It's a miracle. He was without a heartbeat for 7 minutes." I couldn't speak, but a tear ran from my eyes. My body was broken. My chest throbbed. My head felt like it had been crushed, but my soul was alive, like never before. In the following days, still in the hospital, the doctors came to see me as if they were facing something inexplicable. "You should have severe sequelae, but your exams are normal. You were out for too long, but you are lucid, strong, conscious." It's a case that defies science. But for me, it wasn't science. It was grace. It was a calling. My wife arrived on the second day. When she entered the room, her eyes were red from crying so much. She hugged me as if she had found a dead person again. And indeed, she had. "You came back to me," she repeated, but something in me had changed. I looked around the room and noticed the details with a kind of reverence. The light coming through the window, the sound of the heart monitor, her presence beside me, the chance to do things differently. On the third day, I asked for my cell phone, but when I held it, something in me hesitated. It was like holding an old mirror. I knew it could be a tool, but also a trap. I turned it off. I took a deep breath. I closed my eyes, and I did what I hadn't done with my whole heart in a long time. I prayed, and at that moment, I knew that Jesus was still there, not in brilliant lights, but in the vivid memory of everything he showed me. If you've made it this far, I need you to understand something. I am not special. Jesus did not show me these things because I am holier, wiser, or more important than you. He showed me because I was blind, because I was wasting the gift of life, because, like millions of people, I had been seduced by a golden prison with a pretty name connection. But the only connection that truly matters is with the one who created us. I spent years of my life saying I didn't have time to pray, to read the Bible, to engage with God, but I had hours to scroll the feed. I had time to watch other people's lives. I had time to criticize, comment, post, react, but I didn't have time to be silent and listen to heaven. And now I understand why. Because the enemy doesn't need to destroy you with violence. He just needs to distract you with entertainment. He doesn't need to convince you to become an atheist. He just needs to make you believe you can put it off until later. And if there's one thing I learned in that spiritual place, it's that eternity doesn't wait. Time is sacred. Attention is a weapon, and silence is where God speaks loudest. Listen to this with an open heart. Your phone is not neutral. Social media was not created for your soul. It was created for your addiction. Every scroll, every click, every just one more video can be shaping not only your behavior, but your spirit. And behind the glow of the screen, there are presences that feed on your time, your purity, your worship. Jesus showed me that thousands of demons no longer hide in the darkness, but in notifications. They don't scream, they whisper, they don't break in, they wait for you to open the door with your finger. But there is good news. They tremble at the name of Jesus. They break when you pray with truth. They flee when you choose the silence of God's presence instead of the noise of distraction. So, what do I have to tell you today? Wake up, uninstall, if necessary. Go on a digital fast, silence yourself within, reorganize your priorities, put Jesus back in the center. He is not far. He is waiting for you to open the room, close the screen, and talk to him. Faith is not just about going to church. It's about who governs your heart in the hours no one sees. And if you're hearing this now, it's not by chance. Perhaps this is your chance, your second chance, the same one I received when I was snatched from death. Jesus is returning, and he is not looking for likes. He is looking for broken hearts, willing lives, real people who hear his voice even in silence. Prepare yourself, not with fear, but with reverence, because the greatest sign that he still wants you is that you are alive, and there's still time. If this message spoke to you, don't let it get lost like just another video. Pause, breathe, reflect. Perhaps this is the warning you needed to hear. Subscribe to the Jesus Showed Me channel, activate notifications to receive the next revelations, and comment below, Jesus, open my eyes. Your interaction helps this message reach those who need it, and it can be an awakening for someone who is getting lost in the silence of screens. Share with someone who needs to wake up, and before you leave, talk to Jesus. He is still waiting for you, and there's still time.